Welcome back to the DJ Blog 101. This is Serato Part 2. Again, my name is DJ Caleb, and this is the DJ Blog 101. So right now I'm going to go into calibrating Serato, and I'll show you a couple of other things after that. All right? Peace. I'm going to show you the setup. The first thing you want to do when you get your records is you want to do a setup. So you want to hit the setup button. You'll notice this screen right here, which shows you the different, looks like a grid. This is actually the tone that your record is going to play. So if you'll notice, you'll see a big circle. My circle's a little crooked, and this is what the tone sounds like, which is actually how Serato finds the point in the record. Normally you want to get better needles or clean your records when it looks like that. I'm not too worried about that because it plays just fine. The other thing you're going to want to do is while you're in the party, you want to do the estimate. So this estimate button right here just triggers how much, what the threshold is. It's like a gate. It tells the computer, listen, when you're playing the records, the record isn't going to move as long as it's at this decibel. So anything under this decibel isn't going to create a sound. Anything over that, it's going to actually move the sound of the record. Very important to do before you start DJing at a party, because when you start DJing and start mixing, you won't be touching any buttons, but the song will still be playing, and you'll be wondering why. So I'm going to do the same thing with both of them. Threshold's pretty low, which I might change later. Calibrate this one as well. Alright, looks pretty good. Circle's big enough. It's pretty. This is your left, right, and your PA balance, so it tells you how well the signal's going to come in. You actually want a complete circle without all this fizz, but the record that I have is a little burnt out, so that's why it shows that. And that's that. Also, you'll notice in this section, there's a playback menu. You can do a track warning, so it'll tell you right before a record's about to end. You can do playback keys just using shift and edit. With Serato on your keyboard, you can actually use different things, and this one just tells you to use shift in order to control something. So if you want to play a record, you would have to push shift then spacebar. That's to give you an example. This is to lock the playing deck, so you can't accidentally start another song. You sort out your cues chronologically. I'll show you what that is. This is your gain, ultimate gain when you're mixing. This is your hi-fi sample. I'll show you that. Your vinyl control shows you how to record when you drop. So if you want to do needle dropping, this is an option for you as well, where you can do it to the absolute position, or you can needle drop to cue points, which is definitely a great tool if you're into needle dropping and don't use cue points as much, or you're really DJing like a battle type of competition. That's what that's for. This tells you how your library sorts out, how big you want the fonts to be, the album art size if you want it to be any bigger, smaller, whatever the case is. This is your overall display, how many times you want your interface to read the screen. You'll see what I'm talking about when I pull it up. Your MIDI, if you're hooking up an outside MIDI device, and your plugins, which would be your sampler, which I use very often, my DJ effects, which I also use, and how I want my Serato playlist to look. So that's pretty much the basic setup of Serato. Just to show you the mixer setup, now that we're back, when you want it on your Serato, on your mixer, you want it to be pointed to line if you're playing Serato records. That way it triggers the actual program. If you have it on phono, you're going to hear this. And that is the actual tone as I explained earlier. This is so that you can switch between Serato and a regular vinyl record. Just one click of a switch, you can play a regular record if you don't have, the Serato, if it's not in your library yet, which is very rare. I have 1,000,001 songs in my library. The benefit of having a library, of having the crates in Serato, is that I don't have to carry crates of records anymore. Everything is listed right here. Serato even has something called Smart Crates, which you can also check out if you go to www.serato.com or www.scratchlive.com. They'll show you a little couple of videos on that. They even have some posted on YouTube. But what I'm going to show you now is just a quick setup to load your track. It's as simple as clicking and dragging. There's also some hotkeys, which you can learn later. But just to click and drag, I just click on Good Times, drag it on over. Now, Good Times is on my channel too, and I'm going to do the same thing. And if I wanted to double that, and I don't have it listed here, I can just hit Control Shift and point the arrow, and it'll load Good Times on the other track. And now it's just like regular DJ. You got your track listed there. The benefit of having Serato is that with Serato, you can actually see every point of the track. Now, I also explained earlier about cue points, which on my record before was the mark on the record. You can just show the record here. Before on the 4, 3, 2, 1, I had actual cue point listed there. With this, I can create cue points and just hit a button. And that'll go directly to that section on the record. So So without further ado, I'm going to do some tricks, do a couple of different things. And y'all stay tuned to the DJ Blog 101 with the DJ 101. All right. This might be my last segment. I might come up with a couple of things later, but I'll just show you a couple of tricks. I'll show you the difference even with cutting and scratching, some of the different things I was doing before. One of the reasons why I chose Good Times, because back in the day when the first actual hip hop record that was ever recorded was by a group called the Sugar Hill Gang, and they actually took the sample from Good Times. And that became, hip hop history. The first record actually made that went gold platinum that was ever distributed, other than within the local streets of New York City and the Bronx, and where hip hop originated. So I'm just gonna take that little break part of the song and show you how to cut it up a little bit, and how b-boying and DJs really became big because they were able to manipulate the records at a certain cue point or point in the record to have it become an instrumental that would cause people to dance longer. This is where the term break dancers came from actually using the break beat in the record. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you a little bit of that, and we'll get into it. My sample player that I'm showing you now, and with the sample player I can actually trigger certain samples like this. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning into my blog. Big shout out to Marywood University for allowing me the opportunity to do this and actually teaching me how to do a blog. It's the first time I've ever done a blog before. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Big shout out to Divine Art Entertainment, my children. And that's about it, man. Peace. Love is love. DJ Caleb, the DJ Blog 101.